For the past few months or so, I've been seeing this trend of people posting book unhaul videos. It really has just stuck in my head for a while now, and today I was just staring at my to be read shelf and I just figured it was my time to unhaul the books that I'm never gonna read, because there were some books on my shelf that I know I was never gonna read. I could be telling myself in my head I'm gonna read it, but deep in my head I knew I wasn't gonna read any of those books that I'm gonna be featuring in this video. So with that being said, here are 7 books that I'm gonna be getting rid of because I don't want them no more. Just, you know, I'm gonna get rid. The first 3 books I'm going to be mentioning are books that happen to end up on my shelf and I don't know how they got there. I didn't buy these books. No one gave them to me. They just somehow ended up there and I don't know where they came from and where, how did you, what? I don't know. The Night Following by Mora something Joss. Where did this book come from? I don't know, but it's been on my shelf for freaking ever, for years I think, and I never bought it. Don't remember it being given to me as a gift. I don't know. It says, on a blustery April day, the quiet, rather private wife of a doctor discovers that her husband has been having an affair, and that doesn't interest me. I didn't buy it. I don't want it. Goodbye. Hard Row by Margaret Marin, a Deborah Knott mystery. Again, where did this book come from? I don't know. It doesn't really look interesting. It's a mystery book and I think there's maybe a detective. It's just not appealing to my eyes. The only cool thing is that there's some birds and like a scarecrow looking dude over there, and that alone has not hooked me. So I'm gonna say goodbye. Goodbye, book. Farewell to you. Next I have Prophecy of the Sisters by Michelle Zink. This is the last book, thankfully, that somehow ended up on my shelf and I don't know how or where it came from. I kept it because it actually has a pretty cover. Look at that. It's actually pretty cool. And so I kind of told myself, well, you know, maybe I'll read it. But then, not too long ago, I looked on Goodreads and the ratings are so bad. It's like 1 out of 5 stars. Like, do you ever see a book on Goodreads with 1 out of 5 stars? What? Like, when does that happen? I don't know. Tell me, because I don't know. That alone tells me not to read this book. I trust Goodreads, okay? I read a good amount of very bad books last year and I don't want that to happen again. So I'm paying attention to the ratings on Goodreads, and because of that, I'm getting rid of this book because I am not reading a 1 out of 5 star book. No thank you. Goodbye. The next book I'm getting rid of is a book that I bought at a thrift store on a whim forever ago, and the only reason I bought it was because there was a boat on the cover, and anytime I see a boat on a cover or anything that reminds me of a pirate, you know that's my weakness, guys. That's my one weakness, so I bought it, and this is White Death by Clive Cussler. Like, there's a boat on it and I don't want to get rid of the book, but I know I'm never gonna read it because I have no interest in Clive Cussler. Like, who are you? I don't know who you are. I've never heard of you before. The next book I'm gonna be getting rid of is Sense and Sensibility and Sea Monsters. This book has been sitting on my shelf for just so many years. I was really interested in reading this book until I read Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, and that book was just, it was just okay to me, and it wasn't anything special. So because of that, I feel that this as well is just gonna be and it's not gonna be anything special, so I don't really want to waste my time. Granted, if you guys have read this and you think it's really good, let me know, because then I will push myself to read it. But if not, if you didn't like it, tell me and I will be getting rid of it because I just Next, I have The Den of Shadows Quartet by Amelia Atwater Rhodes. This book, there's like 4 stories in here. One's about a vampire, another one is another one about a vampire, the third one is about vampire hunting witches, and the 4th is about another vampire. So I've just learned they're all vampire stories. Look at that. And you know, I've just had this book for years and I don't think I'm ever gonna read it. When I look at this cover, I sorta kinda wanna punch a wall. So that's sort of telling me I should probably just not keep the book. You know, so I'm just gonna let it go. Just let it go. Let it go. Can't hold it back anymore. I gotta shut up. I'm gonna shut up now. And the last book I'm going to be getting rid of is Daybreak 0 by John Barnes. I really wanted to read this book because it's about zombies, and I love zombies, but the thing is, this is the second book, and I bought the second book on accident. I didn't know it was the second book when I bought it, so therefore I need the first one to read it, and I keep telling myself I'm gonna buy the first one, but I've been telling myself that for years, and since I still haven't done it, I figure I'm probably never gonna buy the first one, so therefore there's probably no point in me keeping this book, and I should just give it away. And those are the 7 books on my bookshelf that I'm getting rid of. I feel really happy about this, that I'm getting rid of them and I'm saying goodbye, because I don't want them there anymore, and it makes me feel a little better about my TBR. Although there are still 50 unread books on my shelf, and that thought makes me want to cry. But that's okay. That's okay, because those 50 books that are on my shelf, I want to read every single one of them, and that's all that matters. At least that's what I tell myself. I'ma go. Goodbye.